Nobody told you the truth your whole life. They kept saying that anger makes you strong, that when someone disrespects you, losing your temper is totally fine. But here is what Machiavelli figured out 500 years ago that most guys will never understand. Anger is not strength. Anger is actually giving up. The second you feel that fire building in your chest, the second your teeth clench and your hands tighten, you have already lost. You just handed the remote control of your life to the person who annoyed you. They are now running your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and you, the guy who thinks he is tough, is just sitting in the back seat of his own life. This is the trap. This is the game that weak people play without even knowing they are playing it. They poke you a little, push you a little, say something rude, and when you blow up, they win. Not because they are smarter or stronger, but because they found your weak spot and hit it. Machiavelli said a smart man never moves from emotion, only from thinking things through. The guy who controls himself controls the whole room. The guy who lets anger take over becomes a toy in someone else's hands. Think about every single time you got really angry, every fight, every argument, every moment you said something you wish you could take back or made a choice you later regretted. What did your anger actually do for you? Nothing good. It only took things away from you. It took away your ability to think clearly. It took away your dignity. It took away your advantage. Today, that stops. You are going to learn how to become someone that nobody can touch. Not by being aggressive, not by bottling everything up, but through something way more powerful than both of those. Understanding. Cool, calm, calculated understanding that makes it nearly impossible for anyone to mess with your head. Let us get into it. Here is what most people walking around on this planet will never figure out. The world is basically a big stage. Every conversation, every interaction is a kind of performance. And the majority of people out there are just going through the motions without thinking. They react without thinking. They talk without any plan. They try to start drama without any real reason. When someone disrespects you, when someone tries to pull you into their mess, understand this one thing. They are not coming from a place of strength. They are coming from a place where they have zero control over themselves. They are prisoners of their own feelings, their own insecurities, their own old pain, and they want you to join them in that same prison. Machiavelli noticed that people are mostly driven by two things: fear and their own interests. When someone verbally attacks you or tries to make you feel small, they are acting out of fear. Fear of what you could become, fear of your energy, fear of something inside themselves they do not want to look at. This is the game, and once you really see it, you can never unsee it. A guy who understands people at this level does not get angry. He gets curious, he watches, he studies, he can almost see the strings attached to everyone in the room. While other people are losing it, he is quietly picking up information. While everyone else is falling apart, he is getting stronger. You need to train your brain to see every single time someone tries to provoke you as a little window into who they really are. What are they scared of? What do they actually want? What hurt them so badly that they are acting this way? When you start asking those questions instead of just reacting, you stop being the victim and start being the one who is watching the whole thing from above. This game has always been going on around you. The only difference now is that you are finally paying attention. You can see the board, you can see the pieces, and you will never get played without knowing it again. Now here is a weapon stronger than anything you could ever say, more powerful than any punch you could throw. It is the face that shows nothing, the look that gives away zero. Machiavelli understood that how you appear to people is basically reality. It does not matter what you are feeling on the inside. What matters is what people see on the outside. The guy who looks completely unbothered actually becomes unbothered in the minds of everyone watching. And in any situation involving power, how you look is everything. When someone comes at you and you show absolutely no reaction, something changes in that moment. They were expecting you to explode. They were ready for a fight. They thought they were going to see you crack. Instead, they get nothing. Just silence. Just stillness. Just a calm, steady look that basically says, you are not even worth getting worked up over. This is the most powerful psychological move you can make. You do not need to hit back. You do not need to explain yourself. Your calmness is your shield. Your not caring is your weapon. Work on this. Get really good at this. When you feel that heat coming up inside you, let your face go completely still. When you feel words rushing up to your mouth, hold them back. Let the silence sit there. Let them wonder what is going on in your head. Let them question whether what they said even got to you. The guy who nobody can read is the most dangerous guy in any room, because nobody knows what he is going to do next. Nobody knows what he is really thinking. Nobody knows where they stand with him. That is real power, not the loud, desperate kind where you have to keep proving yourself, but the quiet, suffocating kind that belongs to the guy who has absolutely nothing to prove. Keep that calm face on until it just becomes who you are naturally. Train yourself until being still is just your normal way of being. Let people call you cold. Let them say you are heartless. They will never say you are weak, and they will never be able to control you again. Here is another thing to understand. Every insult someone throws at you is actually a gift. Every attack is basically a confession. You just have to know how to read it. When someone comes at you with disrespect or mockery or aggression, they are not saying anything real about you. They are saying everything about themselves. Their fears, their insecurities, their desperation. A weak guy hears an insult and thinks, what is wrong with me? A smart guy hears the same insult and thinks, what is wrong with them? This one shift in thinking changes absolutely everything. You have to train your brain to see every provocation as information, not as something that hurts you. When a guy makes fun of your goals, he is basically telling you he gave up on his own. When a guy attacks your confidence, he is showing you that he has none himself. When a guy tries to embarrass you in front of people, he is screaming to everyone watching just how badly he needs attention. Once you really get this, getting angry becomes almost impossible. How can you be mad at someone who is just showing the whole room how broken they are? How can words bother you when those words say way more about the person talking than they ever could about you? Machiavelli said, "Wise men learn more from their enemies than fools ever learn from their friends." Every single person who attacks you is actually teaching you something. They are showing you what they are afraid of. They are showing you where their pain is hiding. They are basically handing you the whole map of who they are inside. Use it, file it away, remember it. Next time someone tries to hurt you with words, do not ask yourself why they said it. Ask yourself why they needed to say it. What empty space inside them are they trying to fill? What are they trying to hide about themselves? When you see the brokenness underneath the aggression, you will never take another insult personally ever again. Their words just become background noise, and you stay completely untouched. Here is something most people completely misunderstand. Silence is not the absence of power. Silence is power in its cleanest form. When someone tries to get a reaction out of you and you say absolutely nothing, you create this empty space. And in that empty space, their own words bounce right back at them. Their own aggression turns back on itself. They came ready for a fight. They prepared for battle. Instead, they got nothing. And nothing messes with a person more than getting zero reaction. Machiavelli knew that the person who speaks first usually loses. Words are commitments. Words are positions you have to defend. Words can be taken out of context and used against you later, but silence cannot be quoted. Silence cannot be twisted around. Silence cannot be beaten. When you refuse to engage, You force the other person to keep talking, and when they desperately try to fill that silence, they say way more than they meant to. They over-explain themselves, they get louder, they make mistakes, all while you just watch, all while you just learn, all while you stay in complete control. The pause is your weapon. Get really good at using it. When someone insults you, do not rush to say anything back. Let 1 second go by, then 2, then 3. Watch them get uncomfortable. Watch them wonder if what they said even landed. Watch the whole power of the situation shift without you saying a single word. Most guys are totally addicted to reacting. They think they have to defend every single thing, fire back at every accusation, answer every insult with a worse one. This is just weakness pretending to be strength. The genuinely powerful guy knows his silence hits harder than any comeback ever could. It says, "You are not worth my energy." It says your words do not even reach me. It says I am on a level you simply cannot get to. Let them wear themselves out against your stillness. Your silence is a wall and nobody is getting through it. Here is the chain that keeps most guys stuck. They need people to approve of them. They need validation. They need the world to keep telling them they are good enough. And because they need it so badly, they can be controlled with it. Take away the approval and they fall apart. Hold back the validation and they spiral. That is not power, that is just dependency with a confident face on top of it. Machiavelli understood that the guy who genuinely needs nothing from other people simply cannot be manipulated by other people. The moment you stop caring so much about how people see you, you become actually free. Not the fake kind of free where you pretend you do not care while it is eating you up inside, but real freedom where your worth is completely out of reach of what anyone else thinks. Ask yourself honestly, why does an insult actually hurt? Either because some part of you thinks it might be true, or because some part of you needs that specific person to like you. Get rid of both of those and the insult has nowhere to land. It just passes right through you like wind through an open window. You have to build your own confidence from the inside. Your sense of who you are has to come from your own standards, your own rules, your own honest opinion of yourself. When you get there, nobody can touch you. Not because you are arrogant, not because you are delusional, but because your foundation is built inside you, not outside. Nobody can take from you something you were never getting from them in the first place. Let them disapprove, let them talk, let them walk away. Those are just clouds passing by your window. They do not come inside your house. They do not get anywhere near your core. The guy who masters this does not need the world to bow down to him. He does not need his enemies to say sorry. He does not need anyone to get him. He gets himself. And that is honestly the only thing that ever mattered. Now this next part is where things get a little different, and most guys do not have the stomach for it. But if you want to be genuinely immune to the emotional chaos other people create, you have to start seeing people a little differently. Not as friends or enemies, not as people who are with you or against you, but as pieces in a bigger picture that either help your goals or they do not. Machiavelli did not write for dreamers. He wrote for people who see the world as it actually is. And the reality is this: most people who come through your life are just passing through. They show up for a while, they leave, they play a role for a certain period of time. When you get emotionally attached to every single person, you hand them power over how you feel every day. When they say nice things, you feel great. When they criticize you, you feel terrible. You become a puppet and you did not even know the strings were there. The smart guy cuts those strings. He looks at people calmly and asks simple questions. What does this person actually bring to my life? What is their role? Are they adding something real or are they just noise? This is not about being mean to people. This is about being honest with yourself. You can still be respectful. You can still have integrity, but you do not just hand over the keys to your emotions to anyone who happens to be around you. When someone disrespects you, the question is not how dare they. The question is, does this person actually matter to what I am building? If yes, deal with it smart. If no, move on. No anger, no resentment, no wasted energy. People either add to your life or they take away from it. Your job is to be honest about that and only invest your emotional energy where it actually makes sense. The second you really master this, nobody has power over you ever again. You decide who matters, and honestly, most people simply do not. Before you can be in control of anything out in the world, you have to first be in control of yourself. Machiavelli kept coming back to this one thing. A guy who cannot control his own impulses will get eaten alive by the guys who can. A guy who cannot manage his own reactions has already been beaten, even if he does not realize it yet. The only territory that is truly yours is what is inside you. Your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions. That is your space. And if you do not guard it seriously, anyone can just walk right in. Every person who gets you angry has walked into your space uninvited. Every situation that messes with your peace has gotten past your walls. Every word that stays in your head and poisons your whole day is basically an enemy just wandering around inside you doing whatever they want. That cannot keep happening. You have to be completely in charge of your own mind. Not hard on yourself, but absolutely without question in control. When a thought shows up that is not helping you, get rid of it. When a feeling comes up that is making you weaker, cut it off. When a reaction starts forming that would just give someone else power over you, stop it before it even shows on your face. This is not about suppressing yourself. This is about being the one in charge. Most guys are run by their emotions because they never made a decision to run them instead. They let anger show up and call it natural. They let resentment build and call it justified. They let bitterness ruin their days and blame everyone else for it. The smart guy takes full ownership. He knows that nobody can actually make him feel anything. They can only put something in front of him. What he does with it is completely his choice every single time. Work on yourself every day. Pay attention to your own reactions. Notice your patterns. Look back at the moments when you lost control and study them the way a coach watches game film after a loss. Where did things go wrong? What thought came right before the feeling? What made you vulnerable in that moment? When you know where your weak spots are, you can protect them. When you understand your patterns, you can change them. The guy who has real control over himself walks through any kind of chaos and stays completely fine. Things are going crazy all around him, but inside everything is calm and in order. People are coming at him, but inside his mind, there is nothing but quiet. That is the goal. Not to feel nothing, but to be so completely in charge of your own feelings that nothing from outside can move you unless you actually allow it. Get yourself under control first. Then the whole world has no choice but to respect you. Here is the last big thing. A foolish guy reacts right away in the moment. A smart guy responds when the time is actually right. This difference is what separates the guys who people remember from the guys who are totally forgotten. When someone does you wrong, everything inside you is screaming to hit back immediately, to hurt them right now, to make them pay today. But that is the amateur way. That is how guys who are still weak operate. They give up long-term winning for a few seconds of feeling satisfied. And in doing that, they show all their cards, use up their energy, and often make enemies they never needed to make. Machiavelli said timing is literally everything. The smart guy does not move when his emotions are telling him to. He moves when the situation is actually right for it. He waits, he watches, he lets the other person believe that everything is fine and nothing is coming. And then when the moment is exactly right, when the other guy has completely let his guard down and forgotten the whole thing, he moves. Fast, precise, and completely unexpected. This is the long game, and it takes a level of patience that, honestly, most guys just do not have. You have to learn to hold back your response like a card you are saving for the right moment. Not because you are scared, not because you are weak, but because you understand that if you are going to respond, a cold, calculated response does infinitely more damage than a hot, emotional one. A hot reaction is messy. It is driven by feelings. It is obvious and often ends up hurting you more than it hurts the other person. A cold, calculated response is precise. It comes when nobody expects it and leaves absolutely no room for them to fight back. But here is the real truth underneath all of this. When you actually master the long game, you often figure out that you do not even need to respond at all. Time has a funny way of dealing with the people who did you wrong. The guy who wronged you will wrong other people too. His own behavior will catch up to him eventually. His own character will create the consequences you never even had to set up yourself. Your patience becomes your biggest weapon because it lets you save your energy while life itself handles things for you. Do not tell people what you are planning. Do not make threats. Do not give warnings. Just watch, remember, and keep building yourself and your life quietly. Let them think you moved on. Let them think they got away with it. The guy playing the long game knows that nothing is ever actually forgotten. Everything gets stored away, and when the time comes, things get settled completely on your terms. Patience is not doing nothing. Patience is power just waiting for the perfect moment to show itself. You have sat with these ideas and heard things that most guys will spend their whole lives running from, and now you are standing at a line in the sand. On one side is the old you, the guy who handed his power away every single time someone hit one of his buttons. The guy who let strangers, co-workers, family, even random people on the internet completely destroy his peace and take over his feelings. That version of you had a purpose. He showed you what it feels like to be weak. He showed you what it costs to live with no strategy at all. But his time is done. On the other side of that line is who you are becoming. The guy nobody can touch. The one who moves through life with calm and clarity. The one whose feelings are tools he uses, not chains that hold him. The one who sees every provocation as information, sees silence as power, and sees patience as his sharpest tool. This is who Machiavelli was talking to, not the dreamer, not the guy with his head in the clouds, but the guy who sees the world as it really is and understands that the world does not reward the emotional. It rewards the strategic. It rewards the disciplined. It rewards the guys who refuse to be rattled by things and people that are simply beneath them. From this moment forward, you carry a new way of operating. When they insult you, you study them. When they try to provoke you, you observe them. When they try to pull you into their chaos, you stay the calm one in the middle of the storm. Not because you are weak, but because you are operating on a level they genuinely cannot understand. They will wonder why you are not reacting. Your stillness will make them uncomfortable. They will start questioning whether their words even reached you at all. And that confusion, that little bit of fear they feel when they are around you, that is your power showing itself without you having to do a single thing. You do not need to announce how strong you are. You do not need to prove yourself to anyone. The way you carry yourself says more than any argument ever could. The discipline you have built earns more genuine respect than any fight ever could. The control you have over yourself makes you dangerous in ways they will never fully figure out. Let them have their tantrums. Let them have their outbursts. Let them keep fighting their small, pointless battles. You are not in that game anymore. You have moved past it completely. You have built something inside yourself that nothing from the outside can shake. Things come and go. Opinions change like the weather. People walk in and walk out. But the guy who has truly gotten control of himself stays unbroken, stays steady, stays untouchable. This is your path now. Walk it with the calmness of someone who thinks everything through and the patience of someone who plays for keeps. Keep with you everything you have taken from this. The trap of anger, the game underneath the game, the face that shows nothing, the reframe, the power of saying nothing, letting go of needing approval, seeing people clearly and honestly, owning your inner world completely, and the long game. These are not just ideas. These are tools. Use them every single day. Keep practicing them until reacting the old way becomes impossible and responding the smart way just happens on its own. Now I want to ask you one thing. If something in here actually shifted for you, if you can already feel something starting to change, drop a comment below with this: I am the storm. They cannot move me. Let that be your statement, your line in the sand, your signal to yourself and to everyone else that the old version of you is gone and the new one has taken over. And if this brought you something real, if this way of thinking opened something up for you, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss what comes next. We are building something real here. A group of guys who refuse to be controlled by anyone. A brotherhood of the calm, the patient, the untouchable. You are one of us now. Welcome to the game.